Hello, this is Typhoon 100, or Kai Harrison for TMP Films, and with me is Alex Burton for our second in the series of commentaries with using a webcam.
It's fun, it is fun.
It is fun.
There's only two of us today. Ginger Kid is dead.
So it's kind of, oh my god, I just looked at the webcam, I'm not doing that again. It's kind of, it is three guys and one commentary still, but it's kind of with only two.
One of us is dead, so we'll just go with it.
Yeah, we were supposed to be having
Where's me?
a special guest here today, but he had family
Special
issues.
guest is at Tesco's.
He's at Tesco. Yeah.
I hope he enjoys himself.
Yeah.
Now here is an epic fail on my part. This is my gameplay. I'm ashamed to call that mine.
Yeah, I'm ashamed to call that mine as well.
It's not yours.
It's not mine. That's really distracting. I keep bringing the webcam page up,
stop
and I have to
doing
look.
that.
I have to look. I'm looking right at the camera.
Okay, now I've just realised how awful my hair is and that I'm wearing an elf hat.
The hair.
Part of that guy.
Okay, so I don't know where you are. I haven't played this map really.
I am hiding at the back because you can go down there and it's very entertaining.
That's retarded.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, this is a pretty good game. I have a pretty good score, and I generally just pwn people. Lewis, who was here last week, is actually in this game, but he flops.
Yeah, he flops.
End up teabagging each other.
Yeah, so we haven't got anyone to shoot us and give us something to talk about. So
They're both gone one way. I'm confused.
it's kind of just Alex and me, but it would have been better if we had someone else who could talk about their experiences.
Get your dad in again.
Yeah, I think he's a bit camera shy.
Oh, it's a shame, really.
I think every time I try to upload part 1, it won't let me, so I think my dad keeps cutting off the internet connection when he finds out what I'm doing.
And mine went up. You just have to run away to my house.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe if you actually gave me your password, then I could do it for you.
No way. Next time I've got like 2 subscribers, you've deleted them all.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Sorry. You should have subscribed to me on my other accounts because I still have like 13 subscribers.
I'm not subscribing to you for the second time. Third.
Lewis has subscribed to me twice as well.
Shame. Okay, so you're using the Galil with a Master Key shotgun.
Although I never use it, I don't even know why I bought it, and I've completed my contract because I'm cool like that.
Yeah, very cool.
So cool, I'm going to fix my hat because this is just retarded.
So cool that I can't think of anything to say, and usually I'm amazing at things to say.
Oh no, it's me, I'm just like...
I actually don't know what I'm saying.
I'm just putting you off.
I'm moving the camera now. I have to check. So,
We're all still
bollocks.
here, that's good.
I just want to make sure that it's not looking right through us. Because no. That just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. You should just
I'm
shut
sorry. You can do this from now on.
up.
I'm going.
Bye. Go fix your hair.
Oh shit.
What do I talk about here?
Yeah.
There should have been a 5-in-1 spray, but knowing me, I'm a failure. If you're watching this, don't. It's that bad. If it's on my channel, then of course watch it, because I'm amazing like that. But if it's Kai's channel, so basically I'm in his house, don't watch it, go home. Going home is good. Is he back?
Oh, the wind's just messed my hair up.
Oh no, he's have to go back as well. Oh, get back in here, boy.
Oh, do I have to continue this?
Yes, get back in here now. I will drag you in here.
I'm supposed to do 2 more of these.
I don't care. It's Timmons' fault.
Move up, I can't get my chair.
Shut up.
Yeah, sure.
You're the one who left. You left me to talk about my 5-in-1 fail.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to talk about it.
It was my clip.
Okay.
That was a montage moment.
It's funny how when we have a clip by me, we have loads to talk about, but a clip by you, we just can't.
Just kind of, oh, shut up, Alex.
Alex?
That's my name.
Did you just say something to shut up?
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm cool like that.
Okay. I'm gonna take my house
Yeah, they are pretty retarded. Why do you have them?
Because I went to see a 3D film.
And then just kind of kept them and...
They were 80p. They cost me my wage for a week.
That's how much you make a week?
No.
Right.
Don't disclose that on... don't do
I will.
I'll get fired! No.
You can't fire me.
No, I'll get fired.
All you can do to annoy me is unsubscribe.
If I get fired, then you'll get fired. That's how it works in the chain of command.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I'll accept that, but still, it's your fault.
That looks a bit retarded, that death. Your head just shot backwards.
More of that last stand stuff.
Why you
look, I revive him, and then he gets me killed, and then dies himself.
Why would you revive someone in this game?
I don't know.
They're like...
feels nice.
They're like traps.
To revive people.
Do you feel good
I feel
inside after
really
reviving
good
someone?
about myself.
Is it that feeling in your warmth in your heart?
Yes,
when
it is.
you revive
It's
someone,
wonderful.
even though they're gonna respawn.
Yeah.
On hardcore mode, I just shoot anybody who goes into last stand.
That's a good idea. Don't you lose points for that? I don't
But the enemy team don't get any points. So.
Oh.
But I get kicked from the game. But it's one of these sacrifice moments. I just.
To get rid of people who use last stand, you kill them.
Yes.
Right. We need something to say now.
Oh my
Let's
god.
talk about something.
This is dead without our special guest.
We need a special guest.
If
someone's willing to travel from wherever you are, just come to Kai's house. I'm sure he'll let you in.
Please.
Unless you're like homosexual.
You can't say that on here.
Okay,
I'm gonna have to put this 18 rated now.
In case you're like a paedophile or no racism.
I let you in. And that's pushing it.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, yeah, just come to Kai's house and you can be our third person.
Yes.
So we have Timmons next week to talk about some Halo.
I thought V2's coming next week.
I don't know. Someone's gonna come next.
Someone's gonna.
It's not me. I'm staying home.
You can go to Tesco's next time.
Yeah, I can go to Tesco.
Why does he not just you know
ditch his mum in Tesco's?
Why does he just run off and come here and do a commentary with us?
Because that's not very nice.
But
this was the most epic fail in human history. And me and the ginger kid died.
But you and Lewis both jump into the flipping.
Yeah, I don't really know why we did that. It's because he's ginger.
I don't even know what it's called.
I just follow the crowd. The ginger.
The ginger crowd. You're not ginger. You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, but I have my hat on. This is my commentary hat.
Oh my god. It's halfway through, unbelievably.
Oh my. Are we really? Is it really? I can't see. The screen is so minute.
There's a massive bar up there saying how far we are.
I know, but I'm trying to look at the score. That's more helpful.
We have this on two screens, my laptop and my TV, and you still can't find out how far through we are. No.
You're on PS3.
What's your gameplay?
Oh yeah.
You're on PS3. I had to go on my PS3 to get this onto my HD PVR. We just recorded it as well.
We recorded this like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, but then we decided. Then I decided that I was gonna put this up, and then my laptop
died.
Mistakenly crashed when I tried to load some sort of pirate software on it.
I die again from a grenade. I hate grenades.
And then I spent about the next day going through command prompts trying to find the right kind of code to reboot it.
It's because you're a failure.
For all you geeks out there, it's a very hard thing to do.
So not me. I'm not a geek. I know nothing.
No,
you installed my capture card.
You look like a geek.
How am I a geek? I'm a lanky child.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't even spell his middle name.
If you go sideways, we can't see you. You're that lanky.
Yeah.
You can't spell your own name?
No, I can't spell my middle name. I can't spell John.
John?
John.
Jon. No. John.
You can't be a geek either. You can't spell my name.
But I know people with John with Jon. Jon.
You can't even spell. Oh my god.
I can't even spell a J. I can't even spell a letter. That's a pretty noobish spray there.
Yeah, I like spraying. Just like, oh. What else are you supposed to
do? If it was me, I'd sneak up behind them and shoot them both once.
Yeah, but then we'd lose A, or whatever position that is.
Nobody plays domination for flags.
I actually played the flag, which I never do.
I can't believe all the sprays you're getting with the old.
Yeah. Spray, scavenger, might as well. With really low kill streaks.
Yeah.
Getting pro perks.
There's a guy right behind you.
I know, I do notice him.
This is gonna be I'm gonna be amazed. I want you guys to give us ideas as to what we're gonna say.
We need something to talk about.
Because if some guy decides he's not gonna show up and we're gonna have to do this by ourselves, then we're gonna need something.
I mean, we have this kid who I said last week can't play COD. We have me, who's just amazing, but is also a fail, can't spell.
Yes.
We have you of good quality, and me because I'm amazing. Again.
What? Oh, got them the wrong way. Never mind.
You're such a retard. Why have you got them on upside down?
Like a retard, right? Retard. Retard.
Okay, we need to find something to talk about. I've changed gun, and then I changed back again.
I'm just gonna pretend to be a retard to keep everyone happy.
That's a good idea.
Won't be hard.
Are we nearly done?
No, yeah, we're almost finished with your clip. We have
we have a minute and a half.
We have a quick clip which I can commentate on because I understand what I'm on about.
Yeah, I don't. I don't understand this clip that you're about to see in like a minute or so. So dodgy.
It's dodgy.
This is going to PS3 comedy. I swear, it's funny.
Well, the thing is, every time I send PS3 comedy a clip, which I think is hilarious, they say no, we can't do it. Use this.
Why? What's wrong with it? It's HD.
Because they're PS3 and they're gay.
Oh.
Gay comedy.
Why isn't it called Xbox?
PS3 is like another word for gay, for you Xbox guys out there, and then they have comedy after it. So to me, it just says gay comedy. It really does. But now they switched to Xbox and PC, so they're okay. Yeah.
Another flag capture. Didn't really deserve that one. I was
mean,
kind of helping.
An RCXD shot through a wall, blowing up 2 enemies, is a good kill.
That is a good kill. Why did that not make it onto?
And a Makarov, 4 kills, hardcore search and destroy.
And then you die by a smoke grenade.
Yeah.
That is also worthy.
I think I should be. I think you should all vote for me to be the new head of PS3 comedy.
Yeah, you'd actually know how to play.
That's my election face. You want to vote for me?
Vote for this kid here. You won't regret it. And we're done. And we lost.
Yeah. Now we have my lovely extra clip at the end.
Yeah, I
have to get a clip with me in it in a video because it's just not worth it. You guys watch it for this clip now.
Yeah, this clip is amazing.
Me just shooting a random Makarov on the map. Okay, I call this a James Bond moment. I mean, just come on. The way he runs with that gun is so sexy. It's just so sexy. So I use my flashbang and get a lovely hit marker. So these guys are complete noobs, luckily. But
You're playing noob
I dive over the bed.
Fun.
And then I've almost cooked off a grenade in my hand, which wasn't clever.
I've done that before.
I get another guy, spy plane. I surely think I'm dead by now. That flashbang did not flashbang me, which is kind of a fail because it should have. So this guy's thinking, oh, he must not be in here. So I'm like, okay.
I am in here.
I'm in here.
I am James Bond.
Yes. That is my excuse for everything.
So there's one guy left. You get a hit marker.
I get about 2 bullets in his legs, and then now I think he's lying on the floor when he's not. And then a smoke grenade.
What happened there?
You know what happened. You just told them.
Oh yeah. Alright, I think we are done.
Yes, we're done.
I'm gonna go home now.
Good idea.
YouTube is effed up.
Yeah, we can't upload part 1, so why is it? Oh, okay. I think I'm trying to show you this again.
Oh yeah, you kept recording after this, didn't you?
Just look at the fail. The failness of that. The smoke grenade.
Well, peace out, guys. Try and get this up.
Try and get this up.
Try and get this up.
This may have been completely and utterly boring for you, but I found this most enjoyable.
Yes.
No. Like.
Here's the comedy face. His face is pretty funny, actually. We'll leave you at that. You can stop it now.
I can't move.
Stuck in the happy face.
Happy time.
I'll talk about not deleting my search history.
The hair is not correct. Oh dear. Okay, please.
My videos, let's see how well it's doing.
Okay.
I have no internet.
Let's do this, bitch.
Up the arse.
Oh, seriously. Seriously. Can you not have... I'd like to talk like Sean Connery.
No, you do
James
not.
Bond?
No.
James Bond. James Bond.
You're dead. I will kill you.
Bond. James Bond.
This is so cool.
No, don't touch the keyboard of holiness.
I'm going to nick this.
I'll remove the Bluetooth. Yeah. Leave the keyboard alone. Leave the keyboard alone.
I wrote this is very cool with a smiley face.
This is my lovely keyboard. Hello.
It's not even on, is it?
It is on. Yes.
Oh, it is on?
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Should we start? Should we actually start now?
If you want.
When your computer pisses up. Gay. No offense to homosexuals.
Are we still filming?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm running out of things to say. We haven't even started the commentary yet.
No.
Go to the back! Go to the back!
Stop shouting at your computer.
That sounds wrong. Go to the back! In the back! No. Yeah. Yes.
Do we really have to do a commentary with Timmons?
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
If Timmons watches this, he's gonna kill you. You just said that on live webcam.
Oh, well. If you saw Timmons, I'm sure you'd agree.
the producer of
wasn't in
TMP
that
Films
point,
does
it
not
wasn't.
laugh at that. I did not just laugh at that.
No, I did. I'm sorry.
It's all your fault.
I'm sorry, Timmons.
Okay, right. Are we on? Right.
We've been on for 4 minutes.
We're on for 4 minutes. Right. Okay. Are we ready to start this bitch? Are we ready to start this?
If we must, let's sort my hair out again.
I don't know. Yeah.
Commentary voice.
Hello.
I'll come in looking like an elf. Let me just make my elf happy.
You look like an elf.
Yes,
Right.
but you're
Can we
introducing.
do this the first time round? Ready? Can I introduce it?
Yeah, you do the intro.
Okay. My hair's awful.
Have you seen my head?
Elf.